A to the K.
To the K.
To the K.
Welcome to the A to the K Wrestling Show for our very delayed, late recap, reaction, review.
Oh, reactions.
Yeah,
This is right.
that's
Hey.
good. So yeah, a bit late on this one, so it's about that. But we're here to talk about Backlash and what a backlash it was.
Yes.
Yes. Kicking off the show with, controversially maybe, I don't know how you feel about this, match of the night? Bianca Belair, Iyo Sky. I fucking really loved this match. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I thought both of them brought it.
Really?
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 And I ain't that big on Bianca Belair, as you know.
Really?
Love this match.
Really?
Really?
Nah, it was a good match.
Okay, moving on.
I think a lot more people remember Bailey
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we remember that.
with her iconic moment.
Yeah. That's it's in the bank. It's in the bank.
But yeah, I mean, like literally all the social medias about this match seem to be Bailey. And don't be wrong, you know, I get why in a way, but at the same time you go, poor guy didn't really get credit for the match.
Yeah. No, it's true. And I mean, from a Bailey standpoint, you kind of like, I don't know, it comes as a shock sometimes, doesn't it? Because she just doesn't really accentuate that part of herself. So then when you see it, you're like, oh yeah.
I love how, like, just the way the internet is, and they like, she had Iyo Sky shaved in the back of her, and a lot of people were like,
I didn't
"Is
know
that writing
that. Yeah.
That's the internet for you, man. It's funny.
But yeah, do you know what I thought was wildly fascinating about this? Bianca Belair got booed the fuck out of the building.
But this is a conduit to what probably needs to happen, and that she needs to turn heel, man.
She does. It's
Did wonders for Roman.
yeah.
Forgot his name for a second. Well, I didn't. I was going to call him Seth, and I don't know why.
She is the tiredest gimmick in the whole company at the minute, unfortunately. And it's a shame. Like, look at the feat of strength that she did. Like, a one-arm. I mean, it kind of went wrong. She dropped on her head. But that aside,
See, if
like,
she was a heel, you could sell her.
well, yeah, but like that's a hell of a feat of strength.
yeah.
And she's such a gifted performer. But
Yeah, without a doubt.
it's just the gimmick now, and the fact she's been champion for so
And
long.
it's the thing, we're not saying it negatively, like you say, she's got all the talents in the world, but this is slowly becoming the same problem as Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It's like, let her, sorry, same thing I said about Roman, let her turn heel, and then she can really sell the heel side of herself, and she'll be over just on that. People love to hate Roman, and sadly, I think they'd love to hate Bianca. It might not be what she wants right now, but that's how you become a legend in the business, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It needs to happen. Unfortunately, I know she's like a really good merch seller, and obviously kids like idolize her. She has found herself in the Cena situation where she'll be.
But you know who else is a good merch seller? Roman.
Well, yeah, there is
He
that.
could probably make a t-shirt that says "Go fuck yourself," and it'd still sell.
Yeah, but he's also kind of a babyface, even though he plays a heel, because people like him as a heel, so therefore they.
But
cheer him.
I think she'd like her as a heel.
Yeah.
Like, he's pumping out merch left and right, and it works.
Yeah.
I think if you do a heel right,
You
it's
do
fine.
like there's a lot of factions in place at the minute, isn't there? Like, I'd be quite interested to see her like link up with the Street Profits and all of them have a bit of a revamp.
I mean, that'd be
because
pretty cool.
we want the smoke. Like, yeah, fucking hell, we've had the smoke. Let's have something else. Shall we? Put your red cups away.
It's not good for your lungs, guys.
Yeah. Are you smoking? So yeah, either way, but yeah, Iyo Sky, fantastic. She's so good. Bianca was great in this as well. And yeah, Bianca retains, but awesome match.
Yeah.
And I do think it is time now, the way the fans turned on her as well. Like, I know it's Puerto Rico, and it's hard to tell, I suppose, on a weekly basis because they just pipe in cheers and boos
I mean, that's the thing.
every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd imagine a lot of people are getting a bit tired of it now. The adults, anyway. The kids probably still love it, but yeah, change isn't needed, I think.
Agreed.
So,
No, fuck you.
I want to get your
I've
thoughts.
seen your notes. Fuck you. I'll
Really?
be against. Nah, it was all right. Look,
Come on. You're the biggest biggest Omos detractor.
I am, and I'll have to admit one thing here. Seth really carried this guy. It made him
Well,
look
he did.
great.
Right, he did. Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of credit where credit's due to Seth. Right.
Yeah.
But in terms of Omos and his limited abilities, do you not think this was by and large the best match he's ever done, and kind of almost made you a bit credible to the point where
Possibly.
he can-
What still worries me, and I'm not going to just go straight into negativity because you're right, this is the best Omos has looked in the ring. Right? But what worries me is, does this mean that you always need somebody like Seth to carry him through a match? Or is this a point he can get himself to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a good point. If you can do it consistently, then you can be like, fine, okay, you can do it. But you're right. It matters a lot who he was in the ring with. Because I don't think the match he had with Brock was terrible, but it was just a different type of match. It was just a Brock match. Suplex. I'm going to grab your head. Oh, he's big. No, beat him. Right? That's what it was. But this one, he was able to play the monster properly.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably not helped because he's so big. They've gone, well, let's put him with big guys to show how big he is.
Yeah.
So they put him with Brock or they put him up against Braun. Where is Braun these days?
He's still teaming with Ricochet.
They keep showing him near people who are meant to be. So, like you say, I don't suppose he's ever really had the chance to play the monster when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. He's a bit all over the place with like MVP and like who exactly is he as a character and stuff like that. But
he's Shane McMahon's bodyguard, you know that.
Well, exactly. But I don't know. For me, this was like it turned a page in his career so far, and I was like, do you know what? He's never going to be Kane. He's never going to be Undertaker. He's never going to be Big Show. But we had an argument, well, not an argument, but a discussion around like, was Carly better than him? And you were like, he absolutely was. After this, I don't think it was.
Again, I think you look at the latter years of Carly and just don't credit him.
No.
Carly was and is better than him.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm going to find you proof.
If you find me proof when he was Dalip Singh over in like other promotions, when he got to do WWE,
look,
he can barely walk.
You can't do that. You can't go, well, yeah, you know, if you only count when he's good, of course he's going to look good. Like, he hasn't had a non-WWE career that I can even refer to, so how can we not give Carly the credit for his non-WWE stuff?
He was amazing in Ring of Honor.
Well, maybe you should go back
to everyone. He's just playing a character, man. But no, I thought this was really, really good. It surpassed my expectations for Omos, and you just have to give the guy a chance. give Omos a chance. But yeah, Seth Rollins gets the win, much needed win as well. So that means 2 losses in a row for Omos, which, do you know what, in all fairness,
he can recover from it.
Yeah, I don't think it harmed him that much. He's still a big guy who crushes people's heads. So
now he's just a big loser.
Being a big loser. So yeah, the United States Championship was on the line in a triple threat.
Okay, I'm curious about your thoughts on this one, because I think I was firmly set that Austin was going to win this. Yeah. I think you were actually a little bit unsure.
Yeah, I would have been happy either way. I love Austin Theory. I wanted him to win, but with Bobby going to SmackDown, I don't think we knew it at this time what Theory was doing. I can't remember. But part of me thought,
no, I don't think
Bobby's going to take the title to SmackDown, then, kind of thing. Yeah. But I'm happy that it went the way that it did. And in fairness to Theory, he did his job well. He, was completely undersized and compared to them, got thrown around the ring, but capitalized on the situation, had them beat each other up, and get the pin off what they've done. If that makes sense.
As a wise heel should do.
Yeah. So I don't know. A lot of people still just don't like Theory, and he's not getting heel heat. He's just getting like go away heat. But I don't know. I think he's great. And I think with a little bit more time, for me, he's going to be the one they build the company around.
Yeah, I agree.
He's going to be.
I actually agree.
So, Roman's not going to be doing it forever, and there's not that many people on the free agency scene who they can bring in to really...
I mean, Roman's still got to win all the titles.
Oh, well, yeah, there is that, which, yeah, he's probably going to do at Night of Champions now as well.
One step closer.
So, yeah, what did you think of this?
I didn't mind it. You can't really ever go, it wasn't entertaining. A triple threat match is usually quite entertaining because there's enough going on. Yeah. I think it was a good display for Bronson. I don't think for 1 second Bronson was a contender to win, is the only thing I'd say.
Yeah.
And that's not a criticism. I just think sometimes it's obvious who's not going to win. Not necessarily who's going to win, but I think sometimes there's an obvious, not a spare part because he played his part, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. We talked a bit, didn't we, about the IC title and the US title should be elevated a bit. And it's again, I feel like I'm shitting on Bronson, but it's like, with the IC title, you've got Gunther, and he's going up against the likes of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, who are former world champs, and it's kind of like, this legitimizes it. Whereas you've got Theory as the champ, who kind of makes sense as a plucky underdog heel. He's going up against Bobby Lashley, who's a former champ. He's going up against Bronson Reed, who's never really done or achieved anything. I don't think he's at that level.
Yeah,
and by doing that, it brings it all down.
That's the thing. It's almost like an unusual pairing, really, isn't it? To go, well, let's put those two against Austin. It just didn't really feel right, but... it was a good conduit for Bronson to prove what he can do. It just seems a bit like, again, you go, well, it's going to be the Bobby or Austin, isn't it?
I just don't think he's quite there, that position on the card yet. So
I agree.
He needs to kind of build himself to it. But
eloquently put, my friend.
Indeed. So next on the list, we had... this was emotional, man.
You know what, right? Even, like you say, not even getting into the match.
Yeah.
Like, just such a memorable moment in it for Zelina.
Yeah, it was proper immense. And, like, I spoke when we did the predictions, I think, that there's no way anyone thought she was going to win, let's be honest, right? No. Rhea Ripley was never losing. But she is an unsung hero from the pandemic era. Every week on WWE TV, she was on fucking cutting promos, carrying it. She was incredible.
She was.
And then she kind of went away for a bit, and she was away for ages, wasn't she? And we just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
And then she kind of come back, not done much, and now she's kind of joined the LWO and has got this kind of...
I mean, they tried the Queen gimmick when they kind of abandoned it as well.
Yeah, which they had to, because they suck.
Really, they should have given more credit to the fact that she won Queen of the Ring.
Well, yeah.
You know, but instead they were like, well, let's put a crown on you and get you to act. I think she tried to put a British accent on for a while, and then they were like, well, let's abandon that. And that's always the thing, because they can't even go, oh, you know, she was a Queen of the Ring. Like, they can't even treat it like legitimacy, because then you just quickly remember the silly gimmick afterwards, which is what always annoyed me about the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah,
but,
it was so much better when it just meant that they got a future opportunity, as opposed to they became a king or a queen.
It should just be you know, when they give out them stats of like, oh yeah, form of this, form of that. Really, that's what it should be. It should be a status thing to go, I've won that.
Yeah, it'd be like an accolade thing.
Yeah, an accolade. That was the word.
That's the one. That'd be a good name for a stable.
The Accolades.
The Accolades. But yeah, so
the Accolades Protection Agency.
I love it. But yeah, like the match itself, and I don't want to shit on it. It was probably the worst match of the night, but not because they done anything bad. I think it was just such a height differential and disparity, and they did the classic kind of David and Goliath thing, but it just, I don't know.
No, I agree. I think, as you said, we all knew how this match was going to go.
Yeah.
And it did what it needed to do. But do you know what? Even being the weakest match, I think that moment alone was worth it.
Yeah, and it so deserves for Zelina as well. So,
Indeed.
Yeah, just so happy for her, to be honest. Right, I want to get your thoughts on this one, because Uncle Dave, as well as the majority of the wrestling fans and columnists and everything, said this was match of the night. I think it might have... Did it get 5 stars from Dave, or like 4.5 stars or something? It was up there.
Okay, right. I don't know how their rating system works. It was a match of the night, as far as a match goes. If you look at the spectacle, if they would have said it's the spectacle of the night, I would agree with that. Because you had Savio Vega, you had Carlito, you had loads going on.
Did I put a picture? No, I didn't. Sorry. No.
You had loads going on that were like attractors to the match, and like, oh my god, this, that, and the next thing, you know. And the fact that Bad Bunny himself, you know, is a draw in that sense. He's a big famous dude, and everyone wants to see what he could do in the ring. He's been relatively impressive up to now, so everyone's like, oh, what's he got? And again, he held his own perfectly well in the match. I still will maintain that Logan Paul's actually probably a more gifted athlete in the ring.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to credit him as the best celebrity turned wrestler. I disagree with that. But at the same time, I would say it was definitely the spectacle of the night. It was hell of a moment, you know, great, so many awesome pops from the crowd. I mean, that pop for Carlito was amazing.
Man, I was so pumped when he came back, you know, that was so cool. And he still won't sign him.
It's
fucking
insane, isn't it?
Sign him, like, what's he got to do? It's like, he would absolutely fit in.
He's so what?
Imagine him in Austin Theory for the US title.
No, I you know what? Bring him in, right? He's looking like fucking built at the minute. Bring him in and put him up against Roman.
Yeah.
In a I don't give a fuck who you are kind of approach. You could even do Bloodline LWO stuff if you needed to. They could back him. It wouldn't be a problem. But
just imagine, couldn't you? Bloodline, that's not cool. LWO, that's cool.
Yeah. But for me, I can't call it match of the night. I think whatever metric they're using to measure the match quality, this was a good match. It was a passable match. It wasn't a match of the fucking night.
You've got my head absolutely spinning now for Carlito Roman. They could go into the whole family history. They could have the Anoa'i versus the Colognes. And have the whole, like, you know, Puerto Rico versus Samoa, and
see,
it's
there.
Be good.
Sign him.
And
sign him.
You won't sign him. What the fuck?
But yeah, for me, I'm not dissing it at all. But it definitely went match of the night. It was very good. It was fun. There was loads of cool stuff going on. I think it was a great. What's the word? A great booking when you consider the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, I think they did exactly what they needed to do to get the right pops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, 1,000,000%.
But yeah, for me, match-wise, it was a good match.
Yeah, it was one of them. It just felt a bit repetitive to me, the actual match side of things. I thought Bad Bunny's entrance was cool. I thought the way he brought out all the like the weapons in the trolley and stuff, like a throwback to like ECW and hardcore days.
Yeah.
Liked all that. But it just felt very, I'm going to hit you with a kendo stick a lot.
Yeah.
Like kind of was the whole match. And then like Damian Priest going to beat you up a bit.
I mean, that's one thing we need to give a shout out for is, again, I always think credit where credit's due. We did the same with Seth when he went up against Logan, is the fact that the reality is he's not a wrestler. He's not as experienced, and Damian was trusted to carry this match.
Yeah.
Really, and guide him through it. And he did a fucking brilliant job.
Do you know what? He is another one who could definitely be main event status.
Without a doubt.
He just needs a few little tweaks on his character and stuff like that as well. And then I think he'll be absolutely up there.
Yeah,
like
totally.
he's got the size, he's got the look, hasn't he? So,
yeah,
in-ring chops. So he could definitely be
he's just not borrowing Shawn Michaels' vests.
Well, yeah. That's the only thing I don't like about him. Can't think why. But no, for spectacle alone, as you say, like Carlito, just phenomenal. Savio Vega, fucking cool. Just loved it all. Thought it was amazing. Which takes us onto was it for the tag title? No, it was the 3-on-3, wasn't it?
3-on-3.
God, so long ago, because we're so bad at this.
Yeah.
I think I got this one right, didn't I? I think I said the Bloodline need a win. I think I said it was going to be Solo would have to get the win because Usos were incompetent.
And credit where credit's due, Carl. You fucking said it, and it's further developed the story. Like the subsequent breakdown of the Bloodline, of the start of the breakdown of the Bloodline on SmackDown following this. Brilliant. Did you see not to pull away from Backlash, did you see Roman sort of chewing them out and then booking the tag match for himself?
Yeah.
I thought that was executed brilliantly.
It just, as you say, they've got even more legs out of this story now, because not only the whole Sami thing and then that's gone, now it's an implosion of the actual Bloodline. Yeah. Roman not being able to trust the Usos to get the job done.
The interesting thing is that he seems to trust Solo so much, even though Solo's shown a few signs of like being unsure. They are his brothers after all.
Yeah.
But he seems to trust him so much. It's like, we're going to take care of business, me and Solo. I think there's a betrayal coming for Solo. And I look forward to it.
Yeah, there's going to be something going on there, I think. Like, there was that spot in the match where he almost hit the Samoan spike on Jey, and Jey's like, I'm your brother, not Roman, not him, or whatever. And that was kind of like, ooh, that was kind of planting the seeds a little bit, wasn't it? So
yeah.
I could absolutely see that. And spoilers for anyone who doesn't know this, but basically on SmackDown, what we've alluded to there is Roman doesn't trust the Usos to get the job done anymore. So Heyman has pulled the strings, and it's Roman and Solo taking on Sami and Owens at Night of Champions.
Where you've probably seen a million memes about Roman getting all the belts, and this is probably one.
I can see it happen though.
Yeah, I could.
I absolutely could.
They want to put as many belts as they can on that man.
Everyone's joking, saying like, "Oh, Roman's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship and have all of them anyway." And what's the point? And it's like, well, he might not do that, but he can still end up with 3 titles because he could win the tag title.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think amazing developments what they've been able to do with the Usos and stuff as well, and have kind of a little civil war within the Bloodline. And then obviously Solo becomes a really important player, because what does he do? Because it's going to come at a time where the Usos are like, well, who are you with? Are you with us or him?
He's Samoan Spike and Roman out of nowhere.
Yeah. Which it could launch his career massively as well, couldn't it, if you think about it?
He turns on Roman and they go into a Roman versus Solo.
Yeah.
Mate, that will make him.
Like, people loved Roman versus Jey. People still want to see that happen again now with all the story, because he was the first one, wasn't he? Essentially.
He was.
So
he sort of got beaten into submission, didn't he, really?
Yeah, they want to see that come full circle, but imagine if you have Solo do it as well, like, mental. But yeah, match itself was good, and I think, the right outcome. The Bloodline needed a win, and it needed to be Solo to get it. And
you called it, man. You called it.
So, yeah. Which takes us on to the main event. What did you make of this?
He was good.
I was underwhelmed, you know.
I can't knock the quality of either of these two, or the quality of the match, but I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Like, it was good, but I don't really know what I was expecting, though.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I don't know what I wanted from it, so I don't really know why it wasn't brilliant.
I don't want to shit on it. So, like, Brock Lesnar busting himself open the hard way on the turnbuckle. He's a fucking madman. So fair play, Brock. You're an animal. Like, you don't have to do shit like that, but obviously it massively added to the match. So fair play, right?
Yeah. Seeing all the jokes, but like, Cody wanted to bleed.
Yeah. He probably would love to, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. He was like, well, then there's going to be a flaming table. No, we've been through this. But in terms of how the match itself played out, it was typical stuff that you'd expect. Cody was trying to use his speed and his agility. Brock, as soon as he got the suplexes, was just suplexing the shit out of him. All that I didn't mind. Even the thing with the into the corner and stuff like that. For me, it was the finish. Just took all the air out of it.
So the cheap pin, if you will.
Yeah, but it was like he'd gone on, Cody going on about how he's not a cowboy, he's a coward, and it's like, and how did Cody win again? He was about to go out and basically just used a bit of leverage. Like, you showed him, Cody. Like, he didn't do anything.
It's a fair point. I think that obviously, it seems that they're referencing there's going to be a rematch here.
Yeah.
I'm not. I really don't know. I'm not saying they fucked it like here, but I just we're gonna have to wait a long time to get Cody back on the title picture, and I don't know if I can hold the interest. Personally, other people might. Personally, I don't know if I can hold the interest in Cody's story that long, because now I've got to get through. This is like, if you had the whole thing in front of you, like the whole story's done. With 20 years down the line, the whole Cody story has been told. Are you going to go back and watch this bit, or is this the bit you're going to fast forward through?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good analogy, that, to be fair. They have dropped the ball. They can talk about long-term storytelling and it was all part of the plan or whatever. WrestleMania was the time to do it.
This isn't the plan. This is a detour.
What is an excursion? So Cody took his excursion to AEW. Now WWE are taking their excursion on Cody being the fucking champ.
It is. You go, here's the direct line. And then it's like, well, let's go that way.
Yeah.
It's like, why? And what's the point?
They're not doing it.
Sorry for our audio listeners. Hand movements.
And gestures. Lots of stuff going on here. But, it's not long-term storytelling. It's, we just don't want to put the title on him yet, but maybe in the future. So we'll just go a roundabout way of doing it.
And I feel like they want it to be WrestleMania 40, and that's the bit that worries me. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about that now.
It'll have to be, won't it? Because they're on different brands now and stuff as well. The only way it could happen earlier is if he wins Money in the Bank. Do you want Cody winning Money in the Bank?
At least it'll be some sort of progress.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's annoying because on the one hand I do get it. It was very easy for him, and we said that. Dusty fucking did his whole life and he couldn't do it. And then
I feel like it was like it was all very easy for him, but then we got to Mania and go, well, you know what, this is the story, fair enough. And then like, we're not gonna make it that easy. It's like,
yeah, it's like you've already got him there, so you may as well just follow through with it. But yeah, I do worry though, similar to you. How are they going to build that momentum back up again? Because it was white hot between them, and they thought this is it. And we thought it a lot. A lot of people thought it was Sami at Montreal. People thought it was Drew at Wales, and it never came to be. But I don't know how you build Cody back up and get it as hot as it was for Mania.
And you know what?
And if it happens at SummerSlam,
honestly,
does it feel as big?
It's kind of whoever beats Roman now. It's kind of a poison chalice anyway.
Yeah,
because, and this isn't a Cody thing. Whoever beats Roman, they haven't just got to beat him, and that moment in itself will be iconic because the title reign he's had now.
Iconic. Sorry.
So you'll have that moment. You'll always have that moment. You were the one who beat Roman. You were the one who toppled the how many thousand days? 7,000 day run that he's had, right? And then you have to live up to it. Yeah. And there's the problem. Then you have to live up to that title run.
I never thought we'd ever say this, so you can punch me if you want. But are we on? Is this similar to the streak at this point?
Kind of,
because that was a poison chalice. No,
I honestly I get why you'd be like I would be quite against that.
Yeah,
but in a way, yeah, because we got to a point with the streak that I think we've both come to terms with it and gone, you know what, Brock was probably one of the better choices, but it's still heavily debated now. What would have been the best shout? Yeah. I often say, and surprisingly, you aren't that against it for me here, but I've often said it should be Shawn. It should have been Shawn at that moment.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, why waste it on either Shawn or Brock? Why not let it build somebody and such like that?
Could have been Drew.
But now we could have the same arguments, haven't we? Yeah. Why waste this historic title run on Cody, who's probably just going to retire? Why not get an up and coming? Why not let Austin Theory do it and piss everyone off? So you could make all those same arguments now. So I do think you're right. I think it's getting to that point where you go, it's becoming.
And what do you do? Do you go down the route of it should never have been broken? Do we just have Roman just hold it and never lose and retire?
Away.
You know what I mean? You go down that, or who is the one to do it?
This is the difference, isn't it? Because the streak was always something that they could protect as long as they chose to. That title has to change hands at some point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just becomes stupid. I don't know how long they can keep it going. And obviously, they needed to break San Martino's streak, which is interesting, isn't it? Because like a title streak back then was totally different.
Well, San Martino's are still like, was it something ridiculously 1,000 days? I think Roman's going to reach 1,000 days at Night of Champions.
Right. I'm not going to stop it there, you think?
Well, no, he's not fighting for the belt, is he?
My point being, like, but the longer he keeps it.
So, I think Bruno Sammartino's like 2,000 something, 3,000 something.
Okay.
I don't think you'll ever.
Okay, fair enough. I thought he was close to it. I don't know why I had that in my head.
No, I don't think he's close to other people's. I just don't think to Bruno's.
Oh, okay. My apologies. I knew he was near somebody's.
Yeah. I think Bruno's literally just had it for fucking years, like years.
But the thing is, like, it's not like, and you could argue Roman isn't doing that these days, but like even Roman with his part-time schedule is attending more wrestling events than San Martino. They're not really comparable, but obviously when it comes to building stuff up, you like to compare the numbers, don't you?
Yeah.
So I get why WWE do it, but it's still kind of not the same thing.
No, definitely not. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I didn't like the finish. I thought it was a coward's way when he just said Brock was a coward. Cody came off looking like a coward.
This thing is, unfortunately, Cody just sadly talks too much at times.
Yeah.
So he said a load of stuff that now you say, it's like, well, you didn't live up to what you said there. Yeah. But it is what it is.
And obviously we're gonna get it again, aren't we? At Night of Champions. He says he wants a fight this time, so maybe it'll be a street fight or something. I don't know what it's gonna be.
Oh right, okay. So you didn't realise I was in a fight.
This was a match. Now it's a fight. But yeah. And also, the fucking idiot doesn't learn. He never learns from doing multiple crossroads. Just do the one. I said this about Raw last week when he did 3 on the Miz. And he should have pinned him. And if he would have done one, he could have got the pin. Then Brock interferes. And it's like, in this one, it's like, just put Brock away. Like, I know you're trying to do 3 to really do it, but it just ends up going wrong all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was underwhelmed.
New t-shirt. 2's enough.
2's enough. So I was underwhelmed, but we are going to get it again at Night of Champions. But
you get to be underwhelmed all over again.
Indeed. But all in all, I thought, you know what, fucking great pay-per-view that. It's just a shame the main event didn't live up. If the main event would have had a better ending, this would have been maybe pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, quite possibly. It was a hell of a pay-per-view. Yeah. Totally
even WrestleMania, you know what I mean? Like, it was fucking great all around. But
let's, just before we do finish, like, how do you feel about that? Because a lot of people are talking about, what should have been the main event here. Like, do you feel like Cody Brock should have been the main event match?
I mean, based on all I think the fans were happier with the, obviously, Priest and Bad Bunny.
But do you think that should have been the main event
I would have done it. That's what I thought they were going to do.
That's one of the reasons I was asked, because I think a lot of people were speculating that it would be because of the location. Yeah. But, like, you kind of go, well, the biggest match.
If it wasn't in that location, then no, the right main event was Cody and Brock. But, yeah, based on the location, I would have done
crowd,
that. Yeah. But yeah, for me, match of the night was Bianca and Iyo. The most fun of the night was the Priest and thingy Bad Bunny match.
Incidentally, I do think Bianca's and Iyo's match was placed really well.
Yeah.
It was a great kickoff.
Yeah. It was like, follow that, do you know what I mean? And yeah, it was a tough ask. So, great premium live event. We've obviously got Night of Champions coming up. We've got Double or Nothing coming up, so we're going to be very busy with our predictions, our reactions and reviews. So make sure you tune into all of them. Hit subscribe. Don't hit the notification bell. That's for losers. You'll be notified. Just come and check us out whenever you fancy. And yeah, until the next time, we will say adios.